pharmacies nationwide. Berberine Plus. Your heart deserves better.
Period nights don't have to look like this. Move less, wake up to change. So change for a real night's sleep with Always Overnight. Its 3 times protection system absorbs, locks the fluid, and keeps it away from your skin. For protected nights without leaks. Always.
With Alive multivitamins by Nature's Way, you won't be defined by time. You'll own every minute of it. Discover how you can age vibrantly with Alive.
Time Check, brought to you by BioStrath Immune with added zinc. Distributed by H&J Enterprises Limited.
Good evening and welcome. You're watching the 7 o'clock news on CNC3. I'm Rhea Rambo.
I'm Ryan Bechu.
I am Jassi Marik with sport.
And I'm Sigoni Mohammed with your weather report.
Let's tell you what's making the news tonight. Nearly 6,000 jobs lost in just 3 months, sparking fresh concerns about the state of the economy, with unions warning the numbers are deeply troubling.
Long lines at the police academy in Marabella as hopeful recruits chase careers in law enforcement.
Police constable charged for missing firearm gets bail.
Ahead in sport, Abdullah Shafiq and Babar Azam settle in at the Queen's Park Oval, blunting the West Indies bowling attack.
Sunshine is leading the way. Join me later to find out what else is in the weather as the week progresses in the full forecast.
Top of the news. Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar has announced that 30 joint army and police posts will be established across the country over the next 4 months as part of the government's crime-fighting efforts.
Persad-Bissessar made the announcement in a social media post this evening, saying many communities have long been calling for stronger security presence. She says the posts will help residents feel safer and reclaim public spaces while encouraging NGOs, business groups, community organizations and councils to support the initiative. 22 locations were identified by the Prime Minister for these posts, with 6 more locations still to be identified. The Prime Minister also thanked Police Commissioner Alistair Guevara, Strategic Services Agency Director Alicia Henry, Chief of Defence Staff Commodore Don Polo, Prison Service Superintendent Elvin Scanterbury, and their teams for their efforts in tackling crime. She reaffirmed the government's commitment to what she described as ending the grip of crime on the nation. The current state of emergency comes to an end in September. The murder toll to date is 222, 10 fewer than what was recorded last year for the same period.
Trade union leaders are warning that Trinidad and Tobago cannot afford to ignore rising unemployment, saying job losses are threatening not just workers, but the country's economic future. Raising concern tonight are the Communication Workers Union and the Seamen and Waterfront Workers Trade Union in light of the Central Statistical Office's latest labor force figures of 6,000 people losing their jobs in the first quarter of 2026. The unemployment rate also increased, rising from 4.3% in the fourth quarter of 2025 to 5.4% in the first quarter of 2026. The increase coincided with the loss of nearly 6,000 jobs over the 3-month period. CWU Secretary General Joanne Ogier says every job lost ripples through the wider economy, reducing spending, increasing pressure on social services, and putting more families at risk. She says employment and decent work must be at the center of the country's economic policy.
These figures demand more than just acknowledgement. They require decisive action to stimulate job creation. As a matter of fact, more job creation or alternative job creations, protecting existing employment, encouraging investment and ensuring that workers are not just treated as expendable in the pursuit of short-term financial gains. We have seen and we continue to say, when thousands lose their livelihoods in just 1 quarter, it is not just workers who suffer. The entire economy pays the price.
SWWTU President General Michael Anisette agrees, but says the response must go beyond government alone and include tripartite partners and stakeholders.
While I hear what the CSO is saying, and I will have to take their figures, but from where we sit as the trade union movement, and when we go into several communities, we wonder whether those persons are in the system to be checked, because there are people who don't even apply for, who stay on the block every day.
Anisette says the country also needs creative ways to prepare young people for the changing world of work, warning that failing to act now could create even deeper social and economic problems.
Well, with more people out of work, economists say the latest labor force survey is painting a worrying picture of the economy.
The economists say rising unemployment does not just affect those looking for jobs. They warn it can squeeze household budgets, weaken business confidence and slow economic growth. Keisha Kaulesa Alonso has more.
Economist Dr. Marlene Atz is warning that Trinidad and Tobago's latest unemployment figures represent more than just statistics, saying thousands of households are now facing increased financial pressure. Atz says the impact of about 6,000 job losses recorded between January and March this year, according to data from the Central Statistical Office, extends far beyond those who became unemployed.
The real impact of these job losses is felt around the kitchen table, and it comes down to whether families can afford groceries, whether they can pay the mortgage or in many cases the rent, or whether they can purchase medication or have the financial wherewithal to put a healthy meal on the table.
Atz notes the latest job losses come on top of an estimated 5,000 workers affected by the closure of several government programs last year, adding to pressure on livelihoods. She also points to the closure of Nutrien, uncertainty surrounding Methanex operations, and recent announcements involving private sector companies as signs of broader economic challenges.
We have to look at them together and see them as some signs of the economic health of Trinidad and Tobago and a reflection of some of the broader economic challenges facing the country.
Meanwhile, economist Dr. Ronald Ramkissoon says while the latest labor force report contains some positive indicators, including an increase in labor force participation, the figures should be interpreted carefully.
We don't take one quarter or one data and make a lot out of it, because of course the data, as the year progresses and as we get more recent data, can change, either increase in the unemployment rate or decrease in that rate.
He also cautions against assuming that growth in the energy sector will automatically generate jobs.
If the emphasis and the hope is pinned on the energy sector, we must be aware that the energy sector is not a high employment area. It is capital intensive, which means it is more capital and less employment.
Ramkissoon advises that policymakers should focus on sustained employment growth across the wider economy.
Keisha Kaulesa Alonso, CNC3 News.
Opposition leader Penelope Beckles is calling on the Prime Minister to face the media, saying the public deserves answers.
Beckles says the government has gone 12 weeks without a post-cabinet media briefing. She wants answers on job losses, procurement and the economy. She also raised concerns about the state of emergency and the reported passport shortage. Beckles cited CSO data showing 5,900 jobs were lost in the first quarter of 2026, while unemployment rose from 4.3% to 5.4%. She said the Prime Minister must respond, including to concerns raised by the U.S. ambassador-designate over the government's repeated use of states of emergency.
Meanwhile, hundreds of hopeful recruits turned out at the Municipal Police Academy in Marabella for the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service's latest recruitment exercise.
The large turnout caused traffic congestion along the Tagore Drive as applicants endure the scorching heat and lengthy waits for the chance to move one step closer to becoming police officers. Kevin Felming and Ivan Tulsi report.
Traffic backed up along Tagore Drive and surrounding streets as hundreds of applicants made their way to the Municipal Police Academy in Marabella for the Police Service's document vetting and verification exercise. Many parked some distance from the academy before making the long walk under the blazing sun. Although rain fell at times, it did little to ease the heat or shorten the queues outside the venue. applicants arrived carrying birth certificates, identification cards, driver's licenses, and academic certificates required for the next stage of the recruitment process.
Well, I always was into the policing, so I always say I would join it to become a police. It was always exciting to me. If you sign up for the police, I mean you're bound to walk into the crime, so you have to be ready for it.
Applicants said the verification process involved long periods of waiting while officials examined documents before determining whether candidates could proceed or needed to submit additional information. Joshua Charles of Claxton Bay estimated that about 500 people attended the Marabella exercise, although the TTPS has not released an official attendance figure. He was among those asked to provide additional documents before his application could continue.
When we came here this morning, had a lot of people, a very long line. A lot of people got through and a lot of people got sent back home.
Despite the long wait and the realities of policing in a country grappling with violent crime, applicants said the opportunity to serve and build a career outweighs the challenges.
The thing that attracts me about the police service is serving a country and being somebody that others could look up to in authority. That's what basically attracts me, and being somebody that could help others in the community. Crime happens every day, but me personally, I feel that it's not something I would have a problem with, because as I say, I want to serve my community and help my country.
For many applicants, today's exercise was more than a document check. It was the first step towards a career they hope will allow them to serve their communities despite the challenges that comes with policing in Trinidad and Tobago. Kevon Feldman, CNC3 News.
Still to come in the news, Prime Minister says she's ready for another round of boos if she attends Independence Day events, while a former PM calls on Prasad Visesa to stop.
An international media watchdog says government's continued freeze on state advertising is putting added pressure on independent news organizations.
Coming up in sport, TKR's winning ways attract a new partner for the 2026 season. In the ever-changing media landscape, we at Guardian Media strive always to put you, our viewers and readers, first.
We strive to uphold the time-honored tenets of responsible journalism.
For us, accuracy is key.
And in our reporting, we strive not only to be first, but fair,
impartial,
and to uphold journalistic integrity.
Above all, we are accountable to you, and we must respect the views of our audience. That is our solemn contract with you.
Keen attention to detail.
Rigorous verification of facts.
Keep track of our editorial policies and guidelines, including our corrections policy, by logging on to www.guardian.co.tt for more. A police officer charged after a missing service firearm was found outside the Mayaro police station has been granted $200,000 bail with surety. Constable Nicholas Ramnarine appeared in the San Fernando High Court today on a charge of misbehavior in public office.
He was not required to enter a plea. As part of his bail conditions, Ramnarine must remain at his Pleasance Mayaro home, surrender his passport within 2 days of securing bail, and cannot obtain travel documents. The matter returns to court on October 29th.
The charge stems from an incident on July 29th when officers conducting a handover at the Mayaro police station discovered a police-issued pistol was missing. A search later found the weapon, fitted with a magazine and 15 rounds of ammunition, inside a black plastic bag near a gate on the station compound.
Police say Ramnarine provided information that led to the search. He was later detained, interviewed in the presence of his attorney, and charged.
Murdered police officer Rommel Douglas will receive a full military funeral on Thursday. Douglas's funeral service will be held at the Morva Central Community Center at noon, followed by a 3 p.m. cremation in Arima. Police say the 48-year-old officer was sitting in his vehicle along South Bank Road in Carney shortly after 11 p.m. on July 28th when gunmen opened fire. Douglas returned fire during the attack, fatally wounding one of the suspects, 19-year-old Adetola Aman. Although Douglas was off duty at the time of the shooting, officials say he's still expected to receive a full military send-off. Police Public Information Officer ASP Owe Russell said the decision was made because Douglas was not engaged in any wrongdoing when he was killed. Douglas, who was most recently assigned to the Western Division, is being remembered by colleagues and relatives as a dedicated and committed officer.
A special reserve police officer died in a car crash in Siparia yesterday afternoon. 33-year-old police constable Sion Gaskill, who was attached to the Siparia police station, was killed when his vehicle crashed into a wall near Colley Street along Siparia Old Road. The off-duty officer was driving a white Toyota Hilux at the time of the accident, which happened around 5:40 p.m. Police officers and emergency medical technicians responded, but Gaskill was pronounced dead at the scene. There have been 55 reported fatal road traffic accidents for the year so far, compared to 70 last year. That is a 27% reduction.
Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar says she's looking forward to what she calls round 2 of attempts to boo her on Independence Day. Responding to CNC3 News today, the Prime Minister did not say whether she will attend this year's Independence Day celebrations. Instead, she accused the PNM and its supporters of planning to target her after what she described as a failed attempt during the emancipation celebrations, saying their plan failed because she did not attend the ESCTT's Emancipation Village. Her comments come days after the opposition criticized her decision to skip the event, calling it disrespectful to one of the country's most significant national observances. Well, former Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley is accusing the Prime Minister of pursuing what he called hateful and vindictive policies that threaten the country's social stability. In a statement posted to Facebook, Dr. Rowley rejected claims that the People's National Movement is behind public criticism of the Prime Minister. He also accused the government of implementing policies that have hurt thousands of citizens, claiming they have been taken bread out of the mouths of tens of thousands of people, including children. Dr. Rowley went further, alleging that Persad-Bissessar poses a danger to the country's social and racial stability and needs to stop. The Prime Minister has not publicly responded to the comments.
Member of Parliament for Barataria Sanwan, Saddam Hussein, is accusing the PNM of staying quiet in the face of what he described as violent, toxic attacks against the East Indian community. In a statement, Hussein said the PNM's silence was deafening and claimed the party was afraid of its financiers. He also pointed to comments by PNM Senator Renuka Sagran Singh Suklal and MP Kareem Marcel, claiming they fueled racial division and created the impression the party supported racist remarks. Hussein also criticized a social media post by Dr. Nian Gadsby-Dolly, urging people not to equate indentureship with slavery. He said it is not a competition and argued that all ancestors suffered under colonial rule.
As the race debate continues, sociologist Dr. Mwale Henry says the time has come for honest race conversations.
During the Morning Brew program, Dr. Henry also addressed the 1% narrative as part of the racial division that must be mended through dialogue.
I truly believe that what is required now is that society, wider society, needs to have the courage, and leaders need to have the courage. Our intellectuals need to have the courage, because there's too much spin doctrine on our cultural conversations, even at the intellectual levels, where people are, as I alluded before from the speaker, they are intellectually twisting themselves into a pretzel to try and justify things that have no historical backing, no historical referencing.
Dr. Henry adds that for the country to properly heal from what could be politically fueled racial division, political entities must shed their supposed racial identities.
What what may be required is that the political parties challenge that type of schema, that cultural schema of a black party and an Indian party. And probably by challenging that schema and challenging that framework by its political parties being led by different ethnic composition from the leadership perspective, I think it would push the society to have a different view of each other and, more importantly, change the content of the conversation. So from that perspective, I think as we reflect on our political history, we must be willing to challenge some of the frameworks, the cultural frameworks, the racial frameworks, and in doing so, we will be able to create a new society.
He adds that former Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley seemed to have understood that when he appointed Stuart Young as leader of the People's National Movement.
He believes Dr. Rowley may have been ahead of his time in doing that. Well, today we asked if you agree with the booing of Culture Minister Michelle Benjamin at Emancipation Day celebrations over the weekend.
This is what you had to tell us.
People need to, have a little more respect and thing, and it doesn't matter who you are.
So I believe that you should not be communicating with any government minister in an inappropriate way. I believe that if you have to voice your opinion about something, that you should be very professional about it. And of course, you can move forward by making proper suggestions.
No, these people, some of them have nothing to do. Unintelligent, that's all I will say.
I mean, everybody have their own opinion, how they feel about her, but no, I don't agree.
Well, they know the reason why, but I can't agree to that.
They should have respected that. Besides what happened, how to solve the issue, they should respect.
Reporters Without Borders is warning that Trinidad and Tobago's independent media is under growing financial pressure, and the government's continued freeze on state advertising is adding to the challenges.
RSF says the loss of media jobs and shrinking newsrooms could weaken investigative journalism and media pluralism. The organization is calling on the government to ensure any changes to state advertising are implemented transparently and in consultation with media stakeholders. This follows the closure of the Trinidad and Tobago Newsday earlier this year and Loop TT last year, while the Trinidad Express is expected to lay off workers. CNC3 News has asked Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar whether her government will review or lift the advertising freeze. We await her response.
Well, before we head to this break, let's check in with Sigoni to see what's coming up in the weather.
Stay with us. Saharan dust is on the increase, and I'll tell you what that means for air quality going forward.
KC Ginger Mint, your trusted and natural wellness. Now with healthier options. KC Ginger Mint with honey and lime. KC Ginger Mint with orange and KC Ginger Mint with lemon. KC Ginger, honey, lemon, lime, and orange. Natural and trusted for generations for soothing sore throats and digestion and boost immunity. Get your new KC Candy Ginger Mint extended range today and breathe naturally.
Today, Barbados pauses to honor one of our greatest sons, the Right Excellent Sir Garfield Sobers, who passed away on July 17th at age 89. A sporting legend, a national hero, and an ambassador whose extraordinary talent elevated Barbados on the world stage. Through his excellence, humility, and unwavering pride in his homeland, Sir Gary inspired generations and showed the world the strength of a small island with an extraordinary spirit. You can pay tribute to Sir Gary by visiting sirgarysobers.bb. Thank you, Sir Gary. Rest well. Your legacy lives on. Looking for the ultimate gaming experience? Welcome to Phase 22 Gaming Lounge, where gamers of all ages come to play, compete, and have fun. Dive into your favorite games on PlayStation, Nintendo, Xbox, or race on our high-tech racing rigs. And experience the thrill of VR with PlayStation and MetaQuest. Our lounge is safe, comfortable, and perfect for everyone. When you're done, check out the latest gaming systems, accessories, and even Samsung and Apple phones. Visit us on the second floor of Gulf City Mall or call 786-2404 to book your gaming session today.
Mega month and deals now on at Passad's The Food King. Stock up and save big on Cataly tomato ketchup 750 ml. Get 4 packs for only only $20. Clorox bleach, 2 liters, now $20. Coca-Cola, 591 ml. Get 5 bottles for only $20. Fresh Harvest, peas and carrots. Get 4 tins for only $20. Green Butterfly, evaporated milk, 250 ml. Get 3 packs for $20. Golden Brand margarine. Get 4 sticks for only $20. Cold soft drink, 2 liters. Get 3 bottles for only $20. Cataly pasta cuts. Get 5 packs for just $20. Matuk's peanut butter, 250 grams. 2 tubs, now $20. Don't miss these mega month-end deals at Passad's The Food King. Sale end August 5th, 2026, or while stocks last.
Passad, quality value, that's our way. The real Passad's, we're here to stay. The Food King Passad's.
Textbooks, screens, late nights. Your eyes work hard through every class, exam, project, and deadline. Ferrara Optical has eyewear specifically designed to reduce eye strain so nothing holds your learning back. For a limited time, youth get a free frame with lenses from just $495. Scholars get frame and lenses starting at only $750. And lifelong learners save up to 30% off your purchase of advanced lenses like Eisen and Transitions. Less strain, more focus. Your vision without limits. Visit Ferrara Optical in store today. This promotion is NLCB approved.
Well, it's now time for the weather forecast with Sigoni Mohammed. And Sigoni, just this weekend I overheard someone saying, it's been a relatively quiet hurricane season so far.
It definitely has. Every week we come here and we're saying it's a quiet season. Nothing happening in 5 to 7 days. And guess what? There's nothing happening over the next couple of days, which means we can breathe a sigh of relief, but not too much, because if you're breathing it all in, we have dust in the air, and that is stopping hurricane activity right now. So let's take a look at that forecast, because you would also be feeling the effects of that Saharan air layer that is slowly creeping in across the general area. And it's that clear area right here in our satellite imagery. You're seeing clouds at the top and at the bottom, and in the middle there, Saharan dust. Let me enhance this for you so you'll see what we're working with. That dry, dusty air just sticking with us in the Caribbean Sea, coming out from the Atlantic Ocean. So there's not a lot of moisture happening at this time, which in our hurricane season, we'd be expecting an abundance of moisture and instability. But right now, as we really push into the month of August, where around this time we should be talking about at least our first hurricane in the area, there is nothing going on out there except for a lot of dust really inhibiting or limiting tropical cyclonic activity or development. We're only 2 storm names down. 2 tropical storms have formed thus far for the 2026 season, and we still have a long list to go, but this may not happen because of the El Nino effect, dry, dusty air in the atmosphere, and wind shear really pulling things apart in the Caribbean Sea. What we are monitoring right now will be this general area in the Gulf Coast of the United States for potential development into next week. The Caribbean really far away and safe from this activity. Not a lot to talk about happening here, but this general area is what we'll be looking forward to over the next couple of days for some rainmakers. Again, not really tropical storms or even depressions, even hurricanes, just rainmakers. We'll see what will happen over the next couple of days as we push through into the heart of August. Now, until that time, what we're seeing closer to home, again, dry, dusty air moving in, that Saharan air layer becoming a little bit more noticeable into this evening, pushing into tomorrow morning. It's keeping the atmosphere dry and stable for the most part, and temperatures are staying warm, not just during the day, but into the evening hours as well. Tonight, lows will dip down to the mid-20s, hitting 26 degrees if you're in Tobago, but guess what? With all that daytime heating, we'll see some cooling happening into the pre-dawn period. We could even see some quick passing showers in the forecast. So as we go through what's happening this week, plenty of sunshine with daytime heating. We could see some spotty showers developing and even hearing some thunder. An isolated thunderstorm could be in the forecast where we have all of that heat between Tuesday and Wednesday for Trinidad and Tobago, but temperatures stay wickedly warm as we go through this bit of a dry spell. If that's enough to take you to the beaches, it's light to moderate seas out there and winds are rather light, so not a lot going on. No spring tide in effect, no real marine concerns happening here. So head to the beaches and enjoy it, but have your relievers and inhalers on hand.
All right, thank you so much, Sigoni. Let's tell you what's still to come in the news. A forgotten cemetery, a hidden legacy. Historians work to preserve South's sugar heritage.
The biggest party in sport is back. Catch every TKR March live and exclusively on CNC3, August 7th through September 20th. You don't want to miss the action. The Republic Bank CPL 2026, only on CNC3. Passion, energy, and cricket live here. Brought to you by
With the cold and flu lurking around every corner, keeping your immune system strong allows you to live the life that you want every day. Discover BioStrath Immune Health. BioStrath Immune Health is a unique plasmalized yeast product that enhances the absorption of essential micronutrients, ensuring that your body stays resilient. And now enriched with zinc, it is your go-to support for immunity. Staying vibrant and healthy just became a whole lot easier. BioStrath Immune Health. Get what you need naturally.
We are your one-stop, most convenient, most helpful, most caring community pharmacy. Our pharmaceutical services include dispensing medicines, repeat dispensing, clinical governance. But we also have a fully stocked convenience store featuring our refreshment aisle, grocery lane, personal care products, toys, pet supplies. We are most conveniently located out of the traffic, just 2 minutes off the highway in Heartland Plaza in Deva Shagonas. Contact us on 220-8705 or 470-5938 and visit us soon. Magical Expressions Limited is the largest local importer and distributor of fresh cut stems, offering the widest range of beautiful flowers at the most affordable prices. Call us today at 701-6488 or visit our website to order. Gaming Express Limited is a premium importer and retailer of the highest quality brand name electronics. We stock the widest range of PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, Samsung and Apple devices and accessories. Visit us at Shop 52, Level 2 Gulf City Mall in San Fernando, or contact us by phone or WhatsApp message at 687-7480 or 301-9797 or 798-1280. Like our Facebook and Instagram pages for updates on products and services.
Introducing CTS College's Early Learners Academy, our physical school with a nursery, daycare, and preschool. With qualified and experienced staff, modern classrooms, and the latest teaching methods and technology, your child would get the personal care and education they deserve. Activities include potty training, storytelling, phonics, craft, academics, and field trips. Enroll your child today at CTS College's Early Learners Academy.
While thousands of enslaved Africans in Trinidad celebrated emancipation in 1834 and full freedom 4 years later, one community had already secured its liberty years earlier.
The Americans were formerly enslaved Africans who escaped during the War of 1812, fought with the British colonial Marines, and were rewarded with freedom and land in South Trinidad, where they established villages that still stand today.
More than 200 years later, their descendants are ensuring that remarkable legacy lives on. Angelo Jedediah and Neil Romain have their story.
For many, the story of freedom in TNT begins with emancipation. But for one remarkable community, that journey started nearly 2 decades earlier. Long before slavery was abolished across the British Empire, the War of 1812 created a rare path to freedom. Britain promised freedom to enslaved Africans who escaped American plantations and fought alongside its forces against the U.S. When the war ended, Britain honored that promise, resettling the former colonial Marines and their families in Trinidad in 1816. they would become known as the Americans, a community whose story of freedom, resilience, and identity has endured for more than 200 years.
Yes, as a child in South Trinidad in the 6th Company Village, we were always told that we are Americans. We are a group of Africans that came, long before the plantation life was over, long before, those Africans were emancipated in Trinidad and across the Caribbean and the Americas. So that is something we held on to.
Akila Jaramugi is a 6th-generation American descendant and grew up in 6th Community Village, one of 6 communities established after the Americans arrived here in Trinidad.
The British Army were very weak and they needed support. So they put that notice out there for all to join the British Army, whoever it is. It wasn't just Africans or enslaved Africans who want to run away and fight on the side of the British. They put out that notice for Americans to come on board, to fight on the side of the British, to strengthen their army.
Here, they embraced a new identity, dropping the A from American. They became known as the Americans, a name that represented a new beginning.
We came as healers, we came as preachers, we came, as farmers. We had the culture of the stick fighting.
Their contributions extended far beyond the company villages. Today, American descendants can be found across TNT with family names including Allen, Bailey, Cooper, Elliott, Jackson, and Saunders. While persons may have some of these names, they may not know their connection to this history. Despite a legacy spanning more than 200 years, Akila says the American story remains largely unknown. She also worries about the loss of ancestral lands, once granted to the soldiers who fought for their freedom.
The soldiers that fought, they got 16 acres of land. And sometimes just standing up for their rights and standing up for their lands, you would find them, other people deem us as oh yeah, those Americans feel that they are so privileged. But yes, we were privileged when we came. We were free while plantation life was still going on. Other cultures came in, the indentured workers and others came in and even encroached on our spaces. We can't sit by and let what our ancestors fought for just, be taken away.
This Emancipation Day, Akila hopes more American descendants discover the story within their bloodline. A story of courage, resilience, and freedom that began long before August 1st, 1834.
No matter where we come from, as long as we are black, we are Africans. So this is a wake-up call for all Africans in Trinidad and Tobago, all African descendants, to wake up and find yourself and understand who you are and understand your true identity. Never stop paying homage to your African ancestors, because that's all they're waiting for us to appease them, celebrate them, and, to just be of them.
Angelo Chetadiah, CNC3 News.
Ria, such interesting and deep history.
That's right.
Well, it's now time for sport with Jassy. Jassy, a former top cop, is now trying his hand at developing a football club.
Yeah, I'm not sure anyone saw football club management on the cards for Gary Griffith, but together the Central West Sharks, he's promising a positive shift in domestic football. And Guyana's Raekwon Noel snatches an historic CAC Games golden treble. We'll tell you all about it after this.
Stomach discomfort again? Bloating, cramps, irregular bathroom habits? Meet Vivera, your daily support for a balanced gut. Vivera works fast to help reduce the abdominal pain, ease bloating, and support healthy digestion. It helps restore balance to your gut so you can get back to feeling light, comfortable, and in control. Choose for real digestive relief, safe, effective, and trusted for both children and adults. Now available at pharmacies nationwide. Vivera, feel the difference.
Things don't always go as expected. Be ready with Trinry for auto, home, business and group life. Call us at 800 TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Huge insurance premium. Pay your premiums bit by bit with FlexiPay from Trinry. For more manageable auto, home and commercial insurance payments, call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Trinry, premier insurance coverage for less.
Heart disease is the #1 cause of death in Trinidad and Tobago, driven by 2 silent threats, diabetes and high cholesterol. But now there's a powerful ally, introducing Berberine Plus by Asia Nutrition, clinically proven to stabilize blood sugar and keep cholesterol levels in check. With 99.9% pure extract, you get superior absorption and real results. Available now at Pennywise and leading pharmacies nationwide. Berberine Plus, your heart deserves better.
Today, Barbados pauses to honor one of our greatest sons, the Right Excellent Sir Garfield Sobers, who passed away on July 17th at age 89. A sporting legend, a national hero, and an ambassador whose extraordinary talent elevated Barbados on the world stage. Through his excellence, humility, and unwavering pride in his homeland, Sir Gary inspired generations and showed the world the strength of a small island with an extraordinary spirit. You can pay tribute to Sir Gary by visiting sirgarysobers.bb. Thank you, Sir Gary. Rest well. Your legacy lives on.
Nature's Ways Alive Kids Gummies are multivitamin gummies meant to support the development of children's bodies, like their bones, muscles, joints, brain, heart, and also their immune health. Choose Alive Kids Gummies by Nature's Way because they deserve it.
Welcome back. It's time for sport now. And day 2 of the second test match belonged to Pakistan, who dominated proceedings at the Queen's Park Oval. The visitors needed only 1 session to bowl out the West Indies before setting about their first innings run chase. Here's Ian Wason.
I don't really think we have a target in mind, but definitely we need to get over 350 runs batting first on this wicket.
True to Amir Jangu's words, West Indies overnight batsmen Justin Graves and skipper Ruston Chase resumed on 239 for 5 and continued to pick runs. Graves reached 1,000 career runs in the process, and Chase got a personal 50 during the partnership. Graves was dismissed for 76, bringing an end to a 96-run partnership. West Indies 269 for 6. Chase's form continued to show growth, and he got to 70 before his defense was breached. West Indies 304 for 7. Shamar Joseph could briefly be mistaken for a top-order batsman with this slick 4, but then he was out on 8 with the West Indies on 323 for 8. Kemar Roach was out 3 runs later for 19 at 326 for 9. The innings was wrapped up with a wicket of Jaden Seals. West Indies all out for 344. Pakistan started their innings after lunch positively with Azan Awis going blazing. Imamul Haq was also showing some nick, and together they found their boundary with ease. Joseph disrupted the partnership when he got Imamul Haq caught for 14 with 34 runs on the board. But Awis and Abdullah Shafiq continued to spunk the West Indies bowlers to all parts of the Queen's Park Oval. Awis was eventually out for 55. Jumel Warrikan getting his man at 98 for 2. Skipper Baba Azam and Shafiq continued to plunder the attack, taking Pakistan to tea at 139 for 2. It was much of the same after tea as West Indies bowlers looked lost against the blades of Azam and Shafiq. They both steadied the visitors to stumps as they closed on 266 for 2 with Azam on 86 and Shafiq on 107 after getting to his 6th 100 late in the day. Ian Wason, CNC3 Sport.
Avidan Properties Limited is the latest corporate partner aligning with defending and record 5-time Caribbean Premier League champions, the Trinbago Knight Riders. Monday's partnership launch at Avala Restaurant in Heartland Plaza, Chaguanas, was attended by several sport and business leaders, a direct reflection of the vision of this partnership.
This year, we are proud to be an official sponsor of the Trinbago Knight Riders, who have established themselves as a premier franchise in the Caribbean Premier League, renowned not only for their competitive spirit, but also for their strong community presence and brand influence. This collaboration underscores a shared vision of sustainability and social responsibility.
The partnership will see the Avidan brand carried on select spots on the TKR 2026 uniform, including on player caps and trousers. The TKR cheerleaders will also carry that branding. Avidan will also give away over 200 tickets to lucky winners. TKR marketing manager Selena Sipol said the TKR group's strong brand identity is not something it takes for granted.
Your belief
in this team means a great deal to us, and we really don't take the confidence that you have entrusted in us lightly. We're proud to have you in our corner, and as we chase another championship season.
Well, the 2026 CPL bowls off this Friday, August 7th, with Jamaica Kingsmen taking on the Antigua and Barbuda Falcons at Arnorsville. TKR goes into action on Saturday at the same venue against the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots. CNC3, of course, is your station for CPL 2026, with all TKR matches brought to you live. Former Police Commissioner Gary Griffith has stepped into the realm of football club management. Former TT Pro League and CFU champion club Central FC is now known as Central West FC Sharks. Griffith takes over the club with the stated aim of building Trinidad and Tobago football.
The reason why I have been involved in this now is that I think I can play a part to transform Trinidad and Tobago's football. If I could transform the police service, I feel I could transform Trinidad football and play my part.
Rolling out a star-studded roster of around 15 players on Friday night at his all-out sports bar, former Trinidad and Tobago Police Commissioner Gary Griffith announced his entry into professional football club management.
For decades, Trinidad and Tobago in national football, our local-based players have been involved in the national team. We played Curacao in an away game and taken away the 2 reserve goalkeepers. The other 21 players, not one was local based. And this is nothing against the coach. In the minds of the coach at that time, and could be rightly so, he was stating that I don't think any of the local-based players are ready for this. That means we have a problem here. There's no way we can lift and develop Trinidad and Tobago's football when it is the national coaches are now limited with the opportunity because they believe that we have to look to find players who play in the 4th division in Vietnam or the 3rd division in Oman and not look at our players here.
Central FC will now be known as Central West FC, an organization Griffith hopes will develop into more than just another club.
The reason why it is we say West FC is that I'm trying to put some degree of identity for this club where the Central West will be one that will be involved in the support base from the Western Peninsula, the Diego Martin, the Caranage, the Cocorite, the Piti Valley, the Port of Spain and the environs. And the players here have that identity where we can turn a side into a team. There is a difference. This club is going to be more of a community-oriented one where it is not just about playing and winning a league. It is about going there and giving back to the community to build Trinidad and Tobago's football.
Former TNT International captain Kevin Molino, Jovin and Alvin Jones, Gary Griffith III, Karen Cummings, Russ Russell Jr., Isaiah Lee, Jesse Williams, and Jamil Neptune are just a few of the names announced as part of the squad. Day 11 turned out to be a barren one by comparison to the weekend's avalanche of medals for Team TTO at the CSC Games today.
At the Central American and Caribbean Games today, Team TTO women's volleyball side suffered a straight sets defeat to Colombia in their second group match. The Colombians proved too strong, claiming the contest 3-0 to hand Trinidad and Tobago another setback in the tournament. Over in athletics, Ezekiel Romeo just missed out on a podium finish in the men's shot put final, placing 4th with a best throw of 18.01 meters. Christopher Crawford also competed, finishing 7th with a mark of 17.62 meters. Mexico's Uzil Munoz took gold with a throw of 20.51 meters, while Cuba's Juan Vasquez claimed silver and Mexico's Hero Moran earned the bronze. And in netball, the Calypso girls are currently in action against St. Lucia in their opening match, leading 26-11 at the end of the half. Samaki Felician, CNC3 Sport.
All right, and we'll have some highlights of that netball match and, of course, the full result tomorrow night. Now let's take a look at what's happening in sport around the region.
Guyanese swimmer Raekwon Noel continued his impressive campaign at the Central American and Caribbean Games, claiming a 3rd gold medal with another record-breaking performance in Santo Domingo. The Olympian stormed to victory in the men's 200-meter freestyle, clocking 1 minute 47.08 seconds to shatter both the CAC Games and Guyana national records. Noel also completed a remarkable golden treble at the Games, winning the 200-meter individual medley and the 200-meter butterfly as as well. Mount Pleasant FA of Jamaica are the 2026 CFU Club Shield champions after edging Delfines del Este of the Dominican Republic 1-0 in Sunday's final at the Otto Boldon Stadium. Shaquille Bradford broke the deadlock in the 52nd minute, reacting quickest to turn home the rebound after Christo J. Daly's initial effort was saved. While the victory adds the Club Shield to Mount Pleasant's growing trophy collection, both finalists advanced to the 2026 CONCACAF Caribbean Cup. The Guyana Amazon Warriors are back-to-back Global Super League champions after edging the San Francisco Unicorns by just 6 runs in a thrilling low-scoring final on Saturday night in Georgetown. Bowled out for just 85, the Warriors staged a remarkable fight back, skittling the Unicorns for 79. Mohamed Nabi and Dwayne Pretorius claimed 3 wickets apiece. Samaki Felician, CNC3 Sport.
All right, and tonight's Sport High comes from Dutch domestic football. Enjoy. The season-opening Johan Cruyff Shield now belongs to Dutch Cup champs AZ Alkmaar for a second time, thanks to a 4-0 trouncing of Dutch league winners PSV. Among the 4 goals that flew in was this Wesley Patati screamer, a touch of class to get Patati tonight's CNC3 Sport High. And that is it for sport, guys. Gary Griffith, now a football club manager.
I can see it. I think his love for this sport is quite evident. This is a natural progression for him.
Yeah, I hope we wish them all the best.
All right, thank you so much, Jassy. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Mega month end deals now on at Passad's The Food King. Stock up and save big on Ibis flour 10 kg, now just $68. Sweet Hand soybean oil 1.5 liters, just $25. Flavor Right assorted ice cream 3.2 liters, get 2 buckets for just $84. Sir dishwashing liquid 750 ml, 2 bottles, now $21.99. Cotonaire bathroom tissue 24-pack, now just $32. Split piece dal 400 grams, 3 packs, only $10. Central Farms halal cut-up duck, only $90. Caribbean parboiled rice 9 kg, just $74.99. Pork leg, now $18 per pound. Don't miss these mega month-end deals at Passad's The Food King. Sale end August 5th, 2026, or while stocks last.
Passad, quality value, that's our way. The real Passad's, we're here to stay. The Food King Passad's.
Welcome to Holiday Inn Express and Suites.
Do enjoy, Stacey. You want some coffee?
Can I have the bill?
Perfect then.
That's exactly what we need.
Hey, the pool is this way.
Whatever you're here for, we're here for you. Stay smart at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites.
Let's take a look at tonight's regional roundup.
Starting today, a U.S. visa bond program requiring select foreign nationals to pay up to $20,000 up front is becoming permanent. The U.S. State Department says the pilot initiative successfully curbed visa overstays. 50 nations are impacted, including Cuba, Dominica, Grenada, and Antigua and Barbuda. Antigua is actively lobbying for a rollback. The bond is refundable once travelers exit the U.S. on time. The court case against 3 men charged with 73 counts of murder in the tragic sinking of the MV Barima has been adjourned to September 7th. The captain, his chief mate, and a goods superintendent appeared virtually today. Over the weekend, supporters staged a solidarity protest, claiming the trio is being used as scapegoats to cover up government's failures. However, prosecutors maintain the murder charges were instituted following a clear legal advice from the DPP. And in other regional news, former Jamaican Prime Minister Bruce Golding has issued a sharp rebuke of U.S. foreign policy, accusing Washington of using bullying tactics against the Caribbean. Speaking in Philadelphia, Golding said arbitrary tariffs, foreign deportee mandates, and pressure to cut ties with China and Cuba do not reflect a true friendship. While acknowledging Caribbean leaders must tread carefully due to economic vulnerability, Golding insisted future relations with the U.S. must be grounded in mutual respect, not economic coercion. Jesse Ramdale, CNC3 News.
Internationally, the first known deaths tied to the cyclopsoriasis outbreak have now been reported.
Michigan health officials said 2 people died after becoming infected with a parasite that causes explosive diarrhea. Both reportedly had serious underlying health conditions. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says more than 18,000 cases have been identified nationwide. This comes as investigators track several outbreaks, including a major one in the Midwest. The outbreak has been linked to recalled iceberg lettuce supplied by Taylor Farms.
Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Heart disease is the #1 cause of death in Trinidad and Tobago, driven by 2 silent threats, diabetes and high cholesterol. But now there's a powerful ally, introducing Berberine Plus by Asia Nutrition, clinically proven to stabilize blood sugar and keep cholesterol levels in check. With 99.9% pure extract, you get superior absorption and real results. Available now at Pennywise and leading pharmacies nationwide. Berberine Plus. Your heart deserves better.
Visit Tire Clinic Marketing, New Truck and OTR Tire Service Center at number 30 and 32 Montrose Main Road, Chabonas. Call today at 665-8973 or 672-3419. Alignment services available. Tire Clinic Marketing, Truck and OTR Service Center. A tire for every need.
Welcome back. Hidden beneath thick bushes off Canaan Road in Laramine lies a forgotten cemetery that tells the story of the Scottish Lamont family, who helped shape South Trinidad's sugar industry more than a century ago.
Now, members of the Palmese Historical Society are working to clear the site, preserve its weathered tombstones, and protect a piece of history they believe could one day become a heritage attraction.
Radhika De Silva and Ivan Tulsi tell us more.
The tombs of the Lamont family have sat hidden for years under thick vegetation. But now, the Palmese Historical Society is hoping to preserve the site and turn it into a heritage attraction, showcasing the graves of the Lamont family tombs, the plantation owners of the Palmese, Philippine, and Cedar Grove estates.
The tomb has been neglected, and this is the second time in 12 years I have sought to be here and to find a way to clean it. The Scouts did, but we are encouraging volunteers to come. Some people have responded. The Scouts have responded to the first Naparima, and they're going to be coming here to help us restore this and paint it and so on and do what is necessary.
Stories have been passed down through the generations about Sir Norman Lamont and his death by a prized bull which attacked him. But residents say his gravesite has not been protected.
Yeah, it used to be a cemetery that had some other tombs, and AGC had a project on that side. And when they were digging, it had some skeletons that's coming up, and I think that is why they hold the program.
Charles says anyone can visit.
I never seen no Jambian thing though, if it's that way you try to ask. Nah, it was always cool. So we used to be here only night cooking and lime, and I think it was always cool. Community nice, everybody go together and we stay together.
But there is one man still alive who remembers estate manager John Augustine, who took over after Sir Lamont died in 1949. At 103 years old, John Moose still remembers his first day on the estate.
I worked for 6 years in that day in that estate, and he had plenty of progress in that estate. You want a bunch of figs, you get it. You want a grapefruit, you get in it. No watchman can hold you to carry you, to lock you up. You have to talk to the boss first. You take a coconut, if it's a bag of coconut, don't lock him up.
The Historical Society believes the cemetery, together with other surviving estate landmarks, could one day form a heritage trail, ensuring Palm East's history is not lost to time. Radhika D. Silva, CNC 3 News.
Sounds like Mr. Moose, that centenarian, has a lot of history to offer on his own.
Still so strong.
Right. It's time to recap our headlines. Nearly 6,000 jobs lost in just 3 months, sparking fresh concerns about the state of the economy, with unions warning the numbers are deeply troubling.
The Prime Minister announces 30 joint army and police posts to be set up across the country over the next 4 months.
In sport, Abdullah Shafiq and Babar Azam settle in on day 2, blunting the West Indies bowling attack.
And expect another warm day with hazy skies and only a small chance of a heavier shower.
As we leave you, let's remind you to stay connected with us on our social media platforms.
There you'll find tonight's stories, the latest updates and exclusive content. And don't forget to pick up a copy of the TNT Guardian newspaper.
Well, ahead of Independence Day, we ventured across the country asking citizens, what does Trinidad and Tobago mean to you?
Every night we'll be bringing you one patriotic response. Here's what one person had to say tonight.
TNT means to me, it means home, it means the place I was born, the people I love, and the place I want to represent.
Looking forward to those all month.
Same.
Yeah.
All right, that's how we end the 7 p.m. news here this evening. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Ria Rambly.
I'm Ryan Beechu.
I am Jassi Marique.
And I'm Sigoni Mohammed. Have a good night.
You're watching CNC3.